Howdy and welcome to Forte Catholic. Unfortunately, I have a little bit of sad news this week. We're using this new camera for recording, and we had a mistake happen this week, so we didn't get the full show recorded. I'm sorry about that. So all we have for you today is the first segment. The whole first segment was good and okay. That's what you're watching now. If you would like to listen to the full show, I am posting the audio-only version right here, if you would like to click that. If not, you can always listen on the podcast. Again, sorry about that. Still getting used to this new camera system. Hopefully it's been an upgrade for you guys, but I unfortunately had an issue today. Either way, I hope that you enjoy this first segment. If you do like it, hit the like button, hit subscribe. And yeah, we'll be back next week with a full show here on YouTube. What's up? Forte Catholic. I am Taylor Schroll. That is Allison Sullivan. Allison, how
Hi, Taylor.
Are you?
So good.
Good. I'm glad you are.
Yeah.
I like that you started answering my questions before I finished.
Yeah.
Asking them.
I know what's coming.
We're gonna try it again.
Sometimes.
How old are you? You didn't answer. What's your favorite color?
Olive purple.
Olive purple? Like olives are purple? Well,
sometimes. Smush them up.
Who's your favorite
Taylor.
radio host? There you go! Yay, we did it! All right. Our high five wasn't very good, but the rest of it
that could be perfected. There's time.
Happy day to you.
Happy day, Taylor.
It is a day that we are recording, and it's a day that people are listening. So happy day to you.
It is.
Happy
it's a happy
to
day in our normal lives. I'm celebrating some normalcy. We're both a little drama-free right now, aren't we?
We are.
Yeah.
That reminds me of the Dramamine commercial. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
Where,
no, I mean,
take it when you don't want to have any drama.
Oh, that's clever. Good
I think
for
it was
them.
an SNL skit or something like that.
Oh, okay. Not a real commercial.
No. They're not.
I take Dramamine, and then I have missed 24 hours of my life. Knocks me flat out. I need it though. I'm a little sensitive to motion of all kinds. You? Do you need Dramamine?
No.
What are you flailing around?
What happens?
You're trying to make me sick, aren't you?
What happens?
You want me to barf on your show?
What happens when there's lots of movement?
Rude.
I'm currently doing hand motions for those just listening on the podcast.
Yeah.
So things have been pretty normal.
Yeah.
Recently.
Yeah.
Like I was talking to you. I was like, what's been going on?
Yeah.
Like there have been a couple things. And so like the rest of this segment is going to prove that there were actually two things that were actually really cool. But like usually there are a lot of things that happen that are either cool or really bad or like
something
somewhere on the spectrum.
Yeah.
But like the last few weeks, like when I'm doing show prep, I'm like, I mean, I edited 18 podcasts this week, played a lot of video games, ate dinner. Like, there wasn't much super special.
Did some chores. Well, this should be a nice reprieve. I was texting with my best friend a month ago or whatever, and she was out of her mind and I was out of my mind, and we ended up texting being like, we cannot be out of our minds at the same time. We have to take turns for this stuff, And so I feel like our our normal lives, it's like trying to balance out like the headlines. I think that's what's happening. It's like we need some normalcy to balance out all the cray.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Speaking of cray though, we had something quite cray. Happened this past weekend.
Snow cray.
That was good. Yeah. It was like I see what you're saying. So here in the Republic of Texas, last Wednesday it was 85 degrees. I stepped outside and was immediately sweating.
Yeah.
And then 2 days later, it snowed.
Yeah.
And like once every 2 years, the weather people are like, it's gonna snow in Texas.
Yeah, which is like a little dusting. And we all celebrate and try to catch a flake on our tongues or something.
Cold rain, like that usually doesn't happen.
Right, it does not amount to anything at all,
other than a cold.
Right.
Because like here, it's like it's wet and cold, which means I get sick. So I didn't trust these weather people because they lie.
We've been disappointed so many times.
Right. So we didn't get our white Christmas, but this past weekend, they said it was going to snow. And boy, it snowed.
Did it ever? It was real.
We're in
This
Central
was not a
Texas.
dusting. This was a blizzard.
Well, it wasn't a blizzard. But fair enough comparatively to our normal life.
I tried to drive home. I tried to drive home and nothing was working. I mean, Texans are not prepared for this. I lived in Minnesota. I know, like.
Wait, when?
Yeah, I lived in Minnesota for 4 years. Great state. Made really good friends.
When
and it
was
snowed
this?
a lot after San Diego. Did you know I lived in San Diego? Let me take you
rings
through
a
a
bell.
timeline of my life.
It's so weird to me that I knew you lived in a foreign country.
Right.
But I didn't know you lived in Minnesota.
Minnesota. So we're really accustomed to snow, and that was legit snow. Like, we needed a snowplow. I mean, it was a little dicey on the road. I had to drive home and right in it, and was reminded of all my good tricks. Pump the brakes, pump the brakes.
When did you live in Minnesota?
Okay, so Seth was finishing medical traiing in
Medical school.
Can you see it? I've got it
100%,
pictured.
yeah.
So he looked like Axl Rose at the 80s party. Okay, so yeah, he was finishing medical training in Rochester at Mayo.
Those are words.
Yeah.
Cool. Back to the snow.
Yeah, right.
So it snowed here at our house.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, my house and your house are separate houses. 5 to 6 inches.
Yeah.
In Texas. It was wild. Like, we're just sitting in here, and then we go outside, and there's snow.
And it stuck.
Right.
Like, for days.
4 days later, there were still, like, pieces of snow on the roof and stuff.
It was so exciting.
It was unbelievable.
Yeah. And you know what was, I feel like we really needed it. We, as just like this collective whole, I mean, everybody was outside doing the exact same things, you know, doing the best we can to like suit up appropriately, because Texans don't have appropriate gear, most of us anyway. But we're all, you know, making the same snowballs, celebrating the same storm, taking the exact same pictures, building the same snowmen. And it was this really solidifying thing that I was really needing in my spirit. There are these moments, whether it's, I don't know, like in church when you can hear everyone turn the same page, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Or like in yoga where it's like everyone's...
By the way, on the page turn thing,
yeah,
I always do it early because I don't want to be part of the crowd. Like, they're
oh my gosh.
In the reading of the gospel according to Luke, and then Jesus went over to and I'm flipping my
You're
page.
already there. You're like,
the
watch
Strait
this,
of Gibraltar. And, I don't know why Jesus was at this.
You are such a contrarian, Taylor. Okay, so you're about to roll your eyes at what I'm about to say, and that's fine. I like making you roll your eyes. But there are these moments where it's like we're all doing the same things. I think yoga, like everybody's wrists are popping at the same time, or ankles or whatever. And there's
I've done yoga 8 times, and I'm always behind because I'm like, I can't move this way.
But you probably like snap, crackle, pop at all the same times as all the other people. And it's just this, like, when that happens, when like these things that are just people things happen to everyone at the same time, it's so endearing to me. It's like, well, look at us being people together. We do belong to each other. Right. And this was one of those moments, like everybody was taking the same pictures. Everybody was celebrating the same thing. And it was this really unifying moment that felt really good.
Yeah, so my kids, my 2 oldest had seen snow. It snowed here 3 or 4 years ago.
Right.
Like so they had seen snow, but they were like
yours
2
are
and
little,
3,
yeah.
You know, so they didn't like remember. So this is the first ones, like they didn't remember it, and they ask for snow all the time. They're like, you know, like we see it in all the movies. I'm like, yep, that's all you're getting.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And so we went outside, and so I have almost 8-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 3-year-old. Mm-hmm. Who do you think won the snowball fight?
Well, Taylor.
No, I had.
Did you pelt the mess out of your kids?
I had my new very expensive camera to take the pictures that everybody was taking.
Your pictures were really great.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
The 3-year-old won. Like,
nice.
She consistently knew that, like, unlimited ammo. Like, she didn't pick one up, stop, throw, and then like run away.
She had a system.
She constantly like chased after people, threw a snowball, like as she was running, like dipped down, grabbed, she's so low to the ground.
Buddy the Elf style.
She completely won. She had a blast. It was the first time she had seen snow.
I love it.
My wife loved it. She looked gorgeous in the snow.
Yes.
She's from San Antonio, so snow is not usually in her life.
Yeah.
So it was just fun. It was just cool to have something new. And then for 4 days, like in the midst of what had been like a very normal,
right?
Like just kind of everybody stuck in our homes for 3 weeks. It was just nice to get out and have something new. Like even when I was inside doing the normal things, I would walk out and I'd look outside and be like, there is snow here.
Right.
I forgot about that.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, it was a really good celebration. And to be honest, like the first day that it was happening, I wasn't really feeling it. Not because it wasn't beautiful. I wasn't in a mood to be out in it. And so I was so glad that we had the next day to kind of change moods and be like, okay, here comes the snowman. So we had multiple days to kind of experiment with it. But I've just spent the last, I don't know how long really, but maybe it's just election cycle and all of that, just feeling a little soul sick at how different people can be, like that's kind of taken a toll on me. It just feels sad. And this was such joy, all caps, joy.
Yeah. And what was funny is like, obviously it was an experience. Most of Texas got it. Our Houstonian friends, like where we are, mostly friends, got nothing.
They were so mad.
But everyone else in the world, like, was happy. Because they were like, not only were we enjoying it because we're Texan, we never get it.
Yeah.
All of our northern friends were like, "Oh, look at the cute little Texans,
so cute
calling
of you."
it a blizzard."
Right. But they understand that it's like, let me live my life. It's going to be 80 tomorrow.
Right.
So
exactly.
Yeah.
And so like our friend Father Darrell, the priest up in Canada, like 3 days after we got our snow, he got like an actual blizzard, and we were like, "Yeah, but." It wasn't as much as we got comparatively.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like
it's all relative
for us. But it was just so much fun. It was fun to see like all of our friends on social media and stuff, sharing pictures and seeing the joy of the kids and seeing other people be joyful because we're joyful. Like there was a lot of this like togetherness in a time where there hasn't been much together.
Where we need it.
Right. Any other thoughts on snow?
Snow, thank you.
Snow, thank you. Okay, so there was one other thing that like broke into my normalcy.
Okay.
Because like legitimately, like I've spent 40 to 60 hours editing audio a week. Like I'm sitting right here at this computer desk.
Yeah.
And it's great. Like I love working, but it has just been kind of repetitive. And like play video games is fine. Like I got my new Xbox, still super excited about playing that. But like a lot of that for me is like a social thing too. And a lot of my friends were really busy over the last 2 weeks. So it was just kind of like me.
Yeah.
And like, so there was a lot of good family time. Like my family and I, like my son and I have been watching like all the Marvel movies, him for the first time. My wife and I have like finished multiple shows.
I get sick of myself after a while though.
I'm always sick of myself. My wife and I, we help us decide if this was a grand feat or a defeat.
Okay.
My sister, God love her, shared her Hulu password with us.
Oh.
Like right at like New Year's. And we were recording this 2 weeks into New Year's. And I have watched 2.5 seasons of Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh,
so,
darn, I don't know what that is. I was really hoping to...
22 episodes a season. So we're like 60 episodes
Are they an hour long?
They're 30 minutes long.
Okay, yeah.
We watched 60 of them.
That's easy to do. Because really it's like 21 minutes.
Yeah, sure. That makes you feel better.
Yeah,
That's what takes it from a defeat to a grand feat.
It's a feat. It's a feat. I like it.
And it's fun too because like there's some things that the kids probably shouldn't be watching, but the good thing is like the things that they shouldn't see, they don't understand what it is.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's a sweet spot of parenting right there.
It's like silly enough and like over the top enough that they like it. And we've all been saying, not a doctor, shh, which is like the little like tagline at the end.
Okay.
Like the whole family's been saying it. So like Brooklyn Nine-Nine fans understand that. But it's just really funny to hear like a 3-year-old, not a doctor.
Shh. That's hilarious. I could actually use that a time or two on Facebook.
It was funny. But so other than this normalcy, I actually have to do a check-in with you. Last time you were on the show a month ago, we talked about how there was like nothing had been going on in my life then either. And then all of a sudden these 2 grand opportunities came up. Right?
Yes.
My 2 friends getting married, one of whom is a very close friend of mine. She makes all the images for like this show. Like every time this show gets shared, it's because she created that image.
Nice.
Like,
yes. We all love her.
Great friends. And she was getting married on the same day that I got offered to do a retreat, which used to be my life, and I haven't done them in almost a year, and I could have used the money, and we had that whole conversation.
Yes.
Right? And I ended up choosing the wedding.
Yes.
The wedding was this past Saturday.
Yes.
And I cannot tell. So like we went to the mass and like the wedding mass, and like we took the kids to that. And that was nice. It's a pretty typical wedding mass. She's just so silly. Like most people are like kind of serious in the wedding. She's just not a serious
No,
person.
right,
Like she's
right.
really silly. So she was kind of silly as she was walking. Like as she's walking down the aisle, she looks at her dad. She's like, "I'm getting married."
No,
You know, like, it was just
that is so
it's
refreshing.
sweet and
I
cute,
love it.
but,
Yeah.
So that was fine. But then we hired a babysitter from the internet. BCS sitters, like a local babysitting thing,
Sure.
and we hope they don't kill our kids. And
Sure.
she didn't. Our kids are still alive. We played
Awesome.
the snow. You heard
Perfect.
us. But we got a babysitter for 5 hours, which is the longest we've ever had
It's
a
a long
babysitter
time.
that wasn't like, here, mom, you know?
Yeah.
So I have this whole retreat thing going on that my friend is leading, so I
okay.
can
Yeah.
see how it's going. And I tell you what, when we get to the reception, no kids, we're paying for a babysitter for 5 hours.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like spending money
This is
on this
going
day.
to be worth our while.
Well, I can't tell you how nervous I was that it wasn't going to be worth our
Oh gosh,
while.
right.
There was so much writing on this.
Yes.
So we head into the party, and the venue was gorgeous, and it was one of those things like all of our friends were there.
Yeah.
Like
In
other
the
than
same
like
place,
my
it's so
friends
fun.
from like my hometown, 90% of the people that I know
Wow.
and have spent my life
Yeah.
with the last 5 years were there that I haven't really interacted
Yes.
with.
Oh, that's great.
in the
That's
last 10
exactly
months.
how it should be.
So we walk in, and I cannot tell you how much fun we had at this.
Oh, that makes
it was
me happy.
It was so great. The actual like party was just so much fun. Just being around our people was
Yeah.
fun. My wife loved it. I actually danced with her for more than one song, so she enjoyed that. Like it was so good.
Now she's the dancer and you're not. Like,
I hate dancing.
Okay,
I'm
I
large
think
and
I
white.
remember
like, I'm
this.
Not built for this. Like, you remember, like we went to a dance together, like you,
Yes.
me, and Liv, and
Yes.
all of our.
Yes.
I almost said siblings. all of our spouses.
Same.
All of our spouses.
Oh, no, not
went,
same.
went to the. Well, for me, it's Samantha Schroll and Samantha Schroll, but they are two different people. My sibling and my wife have the same name. It gets very confusing. But, yeah, like I'm not a big we danced, we had a good time.
I love it.
The food was great, the drinks were great. Like it was just
I
a
love
grand
it.
time, and it was so worth
Yes.
my difficult decision of saying no to
Right.
very helpful money.
Right. I love it when that pays off. It's like, okay, so you had this dilemma. You stop and picture yourself making one of the decisions, and then whichever one feels most peaceful. Okay, we're going to go with that. We're going to do that. And then being on the other side of it and being like, yes, awesome. And by the way, I heard from many other people that were at that wedding that it was all caps amazing.
It was.
So I love that. So Seth and I had a similar wedding. I have to say I was not as present as your friend. Like I was not as chill of a bride. Like she sounds like she was really, really present and amazing. I was a little caught up.
Yeah.
Okay. That's my advice to all brides is like, just be fully present.
Oh, I thought the noise that you made. You went, "Bleh." That's my advice to all brides.
That's me telling you to shush it over there. Anyways,
Not a doctor.
but we had a wedding like that where everyone just had an amazing time, and it's because it was New Year's Eve, so everybody was just there. Like they weren't going to waste their New Year's Eve.
Right.
Like no, this is New Year's Eve, and so it was the party of the century. Like we're still hearing about it, so I love that. That's going to be a fun thing for them that people had so much fun at their wedding.
Yeah, and it is one of those things where it was still a difficult. Like even that day, it was difficult. I'm like, I could be making good money that I could use right now, but by the end of the day, it was like I made the right decision.
Yeah.
But also,
It's a peaceful feeling.
One of the big things that we were talking about that made the decision hard was money. Like
Sure.
just being honest. Like I was like, I could have used that money.
Yeah.
Well, that week, the week of the wedding, I got gifted, like people donate to Forte Catholic.
Yeah.
But like I personally got gifted, like for the holidays.
Yeah.
Almost the exact same amount of
No, I
money
knew it.
that I would have gotten at the retreat.
Right.
So, and like part of me is like, that's awesome. Like that's kind of a sign from God, but at the same time, it's kind of like I could have had double. But it was such a good night, and I kind of got the the not consolation prize, but like the consolation
Yes.
in receiving a really similar amount of money. So even when it doesn't look like it most times, God's looking out for me, I think. And
Yeah.
and I like how you said, going back to the thing you said, it was like, whichever one gave you more peace. And I thought I made it pretty obvious last month when we recorded. I didn't have peace about any of it.
Yeah,
I was
that's
so
true.
upset.
I know that you said that, but you knew what was right. And knowing what's right is often not very difficult, but doing it is, and you did it.
Right. And that was the thing. It's like I know which answer I'm supposed to choose.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And I did, and it paid off, which is rare for me.
Look at that.
So I was really
So
happy
proud
about
of you,
it.
Taylor. I think you're growing up or something.
Well, I'm growing.
I don't.
But,
Out and up.
yeah, just out. Well, thanks for that, Allison. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
I don't mean it.
Thank you guys so much for listening to today's show and listening all the way to the end. You did it. You get a half of a gold star, not the full gold star. If you want that, you have to hit subscribe wherever you are listening right now. After you've done that, if you're just feeling super generous and want to support the work of Forte Catholic, you can do so at fortecatholic.com/donate. This is my full-time job. This is how I'm able to support my family. So if you were able to give a donation there, we are a Catholic charity. We are a Catholic nonprofit. So all of it is tax deductible over at fortecatholic.com/donate. Thanks so much. God bless. And I'll be back next week.